from inception of doing the contract to move-in date, you need to probably gauge that it's going to take X amount of days as a ballpark figure.
At least 50 days, I would say.
Okay.
The way they have you write the contracts now is if it's a cash offer, 203B, or conventional, it's 45-day closing. And then if it's a 203K, it's a 60-day. But that time period doesn't start until you get executed contracts back.
Okay.
They're about a week now. They were a few months ago. It was taking 3 or 4 weeks just to get your contract back, but now they're down to about 5-6 days. Right now, Missouri's a little bit longer because they're having issues with Northwest Title there. But so it takes about 5 or 6 days to get your, from the day your buyers, you submit a bid. The next day you find out you win, fill everything out, you overnight it. Usually within a week, you're going to get signed docs back unless you have corrections to make, and then add on another 3 to 4 days. But at that point, when that 45 days starts. So you add on 5 days in between there, and
they're real serious about it's accurate and that blue ink thing, because I've had agents have to come back to me because I have to get it signed with this broker and all that kind of stuff. And so you gotta make sure you get your paperwork right.
And you don't want to have to do it again, because sometimes they'll make you redo the whole thing, and you got to do blue ink all over again. And, if your buyers are out of state or something, it's FedEx it to them, they fill it out, FedEx it to the HUD.
That's
$20 a pop right there.
And you get your numbers for our company number. You get that from Kim to fill out the forms.
Can you extend the closing if someone wants a 90-day?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You have to pay for it. That's what that extension pack right there. HUD's a little different. They make you pay in increments. Usually
15 days.
Yeah, 15-day increments. You can buy more than one if you want to. They will refund it back to you. If it's a title issue, which we've run into a lot lately because there's just been so many of these HUDs going through, they won't make the buyers pay for it. But otherwise, you pay for it up front. So when you request the extension, your buyers have to get a certified check for $150, $320, or whatever, depending on the price that was on the slideshow or on that slide.
Okay.
Any other questions? You guys are very easy.
Yeah.
I can tell you guys haven't done a lot of these HUDs yet because most people have a lot. I will tell you, when HUD made this switch, it was supposed to go live October 1st. It didn't go until November 1st. There was a huge influx of houses. PIMCO showed us a slide that just for them, and being that there's 3 asset managers, they only get a third of the chunk in the Kansas and Missouri area. But the first month alone, they got 700 properties from Kansas and Missouri all at once. Plus, you had everything that was already in the HUD system that got shifted over to this new system. So there's this huge influx of properties at the end of last year, and it boiled over to about January, February. Now the bulk of that, we got hit, we probably got 70 listings in 2 months, and that's a lot of inspections and BPOs and a lot of work for us up front. Now all that's moved past the asset manager. The asset managers are the ones that actually review all the contracts. So late February, early March, they were swamped with all these contracts coming in, and their turnaround time for 2 to 3 weeks long. Now they're down to, like I said, only about 5 days because they've all got cut up. But that whole bubble has shifted to the title company. Northwest Title is the only title company, so now they're just hammered with closings. They've had to hire extra agents to come in and help them close. And
yeah, because isn't HUD trying to lower its inventory?
yeah. Well, with all the regulations going in place, and if FHA goes away, then who knows how long HUD's going to stick around too.
What about multifamily? There are a lot of multifamily available.
Duplexes are the only things that I've seen a lot of. You just don't get a lot of.
So I was wondering.
FHA backed triplexes, fourplexes, and of course 4 is the most. So.
Okay. And what if you have like a very large investor that wants to purchase a lot of properties in a specific area? Is there any negotiation there, or they just follow the process?
No. It's like any other bank.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
They don't see a face. They don't care.
That's what I figured.
Whatever the dollar amount.
Yeah.
So the nice thing about that, we do a lot of work with investors. What I love about HUD is it's all electronic to start. So you don't have to fill out all this paperwork and submit all these offers when you know 90% of them are going to get rejected.
Yeah.
It's all electronic. You don't have to kill the tree. So, but then of course, once you get it accepted, you got 48 hours to make it happen, and that can be difficult with investors too.
Yeah.
They do have to have, I don't know if we mentioned this, but the certified funds have to be included with your packet when you send it out. It's $500 for anything under $50,000. It's $1,000 for anything over. That's about it. The inspections for HUD properties are a little bit more difficult than I would say for a normal bank-owned property. You have to coordinate with the field service managers. Like the asset managers, there's 3 of them. They're located all over the country, so it's nobody local. They contract out somebody local. You have to get their permission to de-winterize and re-winterize. Right now, they're not doing any re-winterizing, obviously, because it's summertime, but in the months that they do that, they will require the buyers to submit a deposit, and usually it's like $150. That's just to cover their fees if you back out, and they had to go do this a couple times.
Okay.
It does take a few extra days to get inspections done, which is why they always give you 15-day inspection period for owner-occupants. Investors don't get it, so be sure you make sure your investors know that too.
Okay.
I heard one of the issues that people have when they do these type of contracts is once in a while there'll be mold in the house because there's no utilities running and all that kind of stuff. And I've heard that people like, you know, that's a health issue, but HUD won't do anything about it.
It depends.
So you have to.
It depends on what loan you've got, what condition the house is when you put the offer on. So let's say HUD is obviously a big backer of FHA, so you'll notice a lot of what they do is favoritism for FHA loans. So if you've got a house, your buyers are using an FHA loan, let's say it's one of these insured with escrowed houses. So it's a house that they're saying is insurable by FHA, but it needs some work, less than $5,000, but it needs some work to make it insurable. If you go and do your inspections and you find that mold's been growing since the house was listed, so like you guys understand when, I don't know if we made this clear, but HUD always does an FHA appraisal on every house in their inventory. They do it from day one. As you probably know, you can only do one FHA appraisal at a time. They last for 90 days. Once it expires, they can go get another one, but you can't refute that appraisal. You can't go get another appraisal. Totally different from conventional. It's even different from USDA and VA, but FHA, that's the appraisal you get. So if they list the property in January, there's no mold in there, they say, the pipes were broken, it needs $1,000 repairs, but it's insurable. You get your buyer out there, they put an offer on it, they like it, you do inspections. By the time you're out there in March, you notice mold growing in the basement. That's your opportunity to go back. There's 2 options there's 2 different ways this could go down. One, you could add more to the repair escrow to fix what needs to be fixed. As long as it doesn't go over $5,000, you can always add that on. The repair escrow, the negative part of that for the buyers, that's added on to the mortgage loan. So when let's say you purchase it for $130,000 and there's a $2,000 escrow, your buyers are actually going to have to get qualified for $132,000, well, minus your 3.5% that they put down. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it's something that happens in that same scenario, if the damage occurred after the contract was already written, HUD may go back and fix it. And I can tell you, HUD's solution for mold is to spray kills over it. So that's about all you're going to get out of it. But if you have a water main break, we just had this 2 days ago on a house that was supposed to close yesterday. Basement flooded. HUD sent out the field service manager. They sucked all the water out. And the buyers didn't have to pay for anything. They had to do an extension, but the buyer didn't have to pay for it. So it depends. The